Hey, good morning, Patriots. Good to see you all up and early. Well, it's not that early, but it's early somewhere on planet Earth. It's early enough that we should be drinking coffee and being grateful that we have another great day to do great things. And God willing, and with God's help, we're going to continue to do that. So, welcome to another day of Wake Up Patriots. And as you see, I'm not Karen. I know it's shocking, isn't it? So, we're in. Chris and I, because we're in, right, Chris? Chris, the wonderful, the magnificent, the Paul Schaefer to my Chris Stryker, or Ed McMahon to my Johnny. That's right. We're all, here. Hey-o. Good morning, Chris.
How about the Arthur to your the Tick?
Okay, well, there you go. There's a lot of ticks around. So anyway, good morning, Patriots. Good morning, Chris. We stepped in, right? We're here again. It's deja vu all over again, right? I mean,
I gotta tell you, it's been an eventful week though, so it's good to be on the extra day today because there is a lot to talk about, and I don't want it to be dried up by Friday because there'll be some more things to talk about that day. Understandably so. I think we froze here. There we go. So you've been watching the RNC?
and I don't know what happened yesterday. I wasn't here, right? I have no. I was like, I wasn't here, so I don't know what happened. So and second shooter information. I'll talk a little bit about the assassination. There's a great video out right now that I did on social media, where my friend Lieutenant Colonel Danny Davis and Matt Ho, my friend Matt Ho. He's a lefty, but he's a good lefty. Just saying, they're not all dirt bags over there. But anyway, we go through and talk about what happened. So hold on. Let me say good morning to the Patriots.
Yes, good morning, all. I will do the same thing.
Good morning, all. Yeah. So anyway, no, I don't know what happened yesterday. Chris, we weren't there. I wasn't there. I don't know what happened. So we're here today, though, and be happy.
Yeah, it wasn't our fault. We didn't do it. Nobody saw us.
So basically, yeah, that's what I'm saying. It's like, okay, I'll be honest. It was a coup d'etat. We've taken over, right, Chris? We stormed the studios of Ed Henry, and now we are in charge. We will control the what was that thing from The Outer Limits? We will control the screen. They did all the stuff with the TV screen.
Or how about the streets will flow with the blood of the non-believers.
There you go. That's right. So we're in charge. Like Al Haig, we're in charge.
I remember that one. Could you imagine? Oh my God! There's something you don't want to hear from Anthony Blinken. You don't want to hear Anthony Blinken say, "I'm in charge now."
Yeah, that would be frightening. That's literally like having Lamont Sanford saying that he's now in charge of the entire manufacturing of steel in the United States. Like, yeah, he's a guy that works for his dad, Fred Sanford. Now, I'm geezing on people here. Speaking of geezing,
yes.
Look what I'm wearing today, Chris. Do you see what I'm wearing?
Def Leppard. Oh my.
Def Leppard. Isn't that cool? That's this is from their stadium tour. I actually got to catch Def Leppard down in Tampa, Florida. And did you know those guys are still rocking at 60? They're my age and older. They're like in their 60s, and they put on a full show in 90-degree heat in the middle, of Florida. Isn't that amazing?
It is, because we have a president who can't stand out there for too long anyway. And you have these 60, 70, 80-year-old rockers still going out there.
It's part of my point.
2-hour concerts.
Right. So that's my point. It's like, and within the context of that, by the way, you know what this smells like?
Teen Spirit?
No, it smells like the 80s.
Oh, 80s. I have to start wearing my concert T-shirts now that you're doing it. I have a lot of good ones. I have a Nash the Slash documentary shirt, Josie Cotton. I love my Josie Cotton shirt. She actually gave that one to me. So
I don't want to give things away,
right?
But Chris knows that a lot of A-list rock and rollers and celebrities. You guys would not believe who I was speaking to on the phone yesterday, who are A-list Hollywood types who have now hey, we're being lied to. It's like, yeah, you are. I'm glad you figured it out. It's like,
Nice that
yeah,
you. At least they're smarter than what is that guy, Rob Gass or whatever his name is, the guy from Jack Black's crap band Tenacious D.
yeah, yeah. He's
Oh,
a C-lister. He's a C-lister now. It's like, okay, dude,
you know what?
I'm ready
I don't think
to
anything's
haul
gonna
him
miss
out.
those guys. The only thing that they're worried about the bullet missing. Well, if I know those guys won't miss a buffet table. That's all I can tell you.
Yeah. So yeah, so I think it's important to recognize that old people can rock. There you go. And guess who? I think I've told you this, but I didn't tell the audience. Guess who I ran into? And this group opened for Def Leppard. You'll never guess who I ran into on the plane flying back. Well, I think I already told you because I sent you the picture. And
Yes.
and this is not political either. This is not political. I'm not trying to get anybody in trouble. I'm just saying these people are cool. And that was Rick Nielsen from Cheap Trick. Well, I
Right.
mean, it's 75, Chris. This guy is rocking, and I mean rocking. Yeah, there's pictures of him out there performing, and he's got the personality. He's got that big five guitar that he hauls around and plays. I mean,
Right.
I told him it's like I want to be you. I mean, man, how do you keep doing that? It's amazing.
Well, you have a lot of old rockers of a certain age at this point that are still going strong. A lot of that is because we don't really. A lot of their fans were teenagers back in the day. Now we have money. We can go to their VIP concerts. We can watch them in intimate shows. I would love to see Dexy's Midnight Runners before I go, or Dexy's the new incarnation. And they're depleted. It's not the same band anymore. But at least Big Jim Patterson, my favorite trombone player, still plays with them. And of course Kevin Rowland.
Yeah.
They're older.
So
Yeah, the Who was doing the halftime show at the football halftime
yeah, and
on
the
the 70s.
Rolling Stones are doing their Back from the Grave tour right now, right?
But they're never gonna die. Those guys are like, they got what Walt Disney wanted.
Yeah, I
That's what I
guess.
believe happened. Oh,
Well, I got to ask a question, Chris. I got to stop the hilarity for a second.
okay.
How is it? How is it a country that produces Dexy's Midnight Runners, which are great? I love Come On Eileen, the Who, the Who.
Mhm.
How is it a country that produces that wimpy Prince Harry? How does that happen? How do you have all these great things and they produce Prince Harry? How does that happen?
Well, it's a country that voted Labor several times, and they overwhelmingly actually, they didn't overwhelmingly vote Labor, interestingly enough.
No,
It's just that the conservatives were kicked out, and the reformers are going to start coming. When Labor ruins the country, the reformers are going to take over. But that's a good question. They've wimpified over the last 20 years. It looks like they used to be
not these guys.
it
Not
used
these guys I saw.
no, I'm
They
talking
weren't
about
whips.
Britain. I'm talking about Britain. They're producing people like again Prince. What's his name?
Well, notably, look at this. This is a
Prince
Def
Megan.
Leppard. This is a Def Leppard T-shirt. One of the official ones at the concert. Cost a lot of money. Just saying, I had to
Always
mortgage my
does.
house to get the
Uh,
T-shirt. And my point is, they've got the British flag on their T-shirt, right? I mean, am I missing something? They seem to be kind of digging a strong Britain,
well,
right? Or else you'd be having the LBGTQ XYZ flag on your thing, right?
or the Palestinian flag, like a lot of them have,
Yeah.
or the Ukrainian flag, like they were waving when Labor won. It's awful. It's just awful. The, they don't. There are people that don't care about their own country anymore, or at least it's not hip to do so for
Right.
them. But
Right.
we are. See, here's the thing: we're the punks now. The
We're the punks.
conservatism is
We
punk. We go against the grain. We're against the establishment. We, the patriots, are the punks of our era. That's right. We stick it to the man.
Well, that's good, and we should, and we will. And speaking of sticking it to the man, I know you want to get somewhere this morning. I mean, philosophically, not physically. You're not going anywhere.
Yeah, I'm not
Just
going
saying.
right.
Chris is not going anywhere. We got another show to do after this. Just saying. We have a busy morning. But with that said, Chris, I noticed that Joe Biden. You might know who he is. I think he's supposed to be the president or something.
Sort of.
And
A man in lieu
yeah,
of a
sort of.
president. That's what we call
Yeah,
him now.
yeah, the man in Lou. And so, well, Matt, speaking of Lou, did you see that he was doing a speech with the NAACP yesterday, which I'm a member of? Just saying, I joined. I think they're a great organization. Did you know that that he has forgotten Corn Pop? That Corn Pop is a memory that he doesn't remember. He's mentioned some guy named Mouse or something during his speech. And it's sad because now instead of having corn pop in his speeches, he's got corn poop in his depends. Isn't that something? I mean, one extreme to the other. It's terrible. It's terrible. So I don't know. But you wanted to talk about a legacy, and let's not dwell on corn poop because I think that whatever he eats is up to Joe Biden, and at least I guess Jill's feeding him nutritional food. He is a senior citizen. By the way, there are nutrition centers for senior citizens. Maybe Jill sends him to those to make sure he gets enough to eat. Do you think?
What that's true. And what Joe Biden was really talking about is he did forget about corn pop, but he wanted to talk about Mouse Davis, the old coach of the New York, New Jersey Knights of the World League of American Football. That's what I
Ah,
remember him. But he's a football coach. Mouse Davis. That's who he's talking about. I guess he's a tough dude, just like corn pop. And that is my
but yeah.
obscure reference for the day.
Well, corn, but it's corn poop now, and it's in his depends. Just saying.
Oh yeah, that's
Let's
right.
let's get that
The
straight. Let's get
chocolate
that
thunder down under, right?
straight. Speaking of that, man, is it hot or what? I feel like Johnny Carson all of a sudden. How hot is it? Hey-o. So anyway, it's so hot that the temperature was 10 degrees above the temperature of Joe Biden's depends. That's how hot it
Oh,
was yesterday.
that's got to be hot.
That's hot.
That's definitely
That's
that's Death Valley.
steaming.
Yes.
Steaming. That's Death Valley hot for more reasons than one. I mean, ooh,
Oh, it sounds really bad. Oh,
it is bad. All right.
oh,
So, but I got us to where you want to be, so to speak. Not in
okay.
this depends, but you wanted to talk about his legacy. So here we
All right.
are, Chris.
So here's the thing. After Donald Trump was shot at and the assassin was apprehended a half an hour too late.
And I'll
Oh,
talk a little bit more about that. People want to hear
we'll
about
get
it. We'll
there.
talk about that. Yeah.
There is now an iconic photo of Donald Trump, his place in history, and his legacy. And this is never going to change. The liberals
Never.
and the left are very upset about this, but this is it. This is the symbol of Donald Trump's presidency. This is what we're going to remember forever. It's what's going to be in the history books. So my question to you, Tony, is what's the iconic photo? What is the one captured moment of the Joe Biden presidency or even vice presidency that sews up his legacy, his place in American history. I wanted
Yeah.
to throw a few pictures by all of you
Please.
and see what you think
Yeah.
about
I
that.
have thought. Yeah. I think I know where you're going, and I'm
Right,
probably going to agree with you. So
right,
go ahead.
I'd love to know. I have a few, so I want
Yeah.
us to choose between them. Tony, I want your thoughts and our Patriot family here. What do you think of these pictures? Here's number one. This is Joe Biden wearing a mask and
Yeah.
telling us what to do with that finger point. I know the finger point's
Yeah.
Bill Clinton thing. Bill Clinton's thing, but that's
Well,
him.
it's like, I've said, how many, let's ask the Patriots, how many of you feel comfortable knowing that that man's Ben Gay smelling finger is on the nuclear trigger, right? How do you feel about that? Because that's what it is. I mean, I'm hoping it's Ben Gay, right, Chris? Was that what's coming off his finger? Just saying.
Yes, it probably is, but we can ask the first lady about that. But that's a different story for a different day, I suppose, right? It could be it could be like white grape jelly, invisible jelly, or Elmer's glue for that matter.
I think he was pointing. Yeah, I think he was pointing at corn pop because he sees corn pop.
Well, no, corn
I
pop
see.
was eaten by cannibals.
No. That's his uncle.
Oh, I don't know.
Uncle,
His uncle
uncle,
was corn
uncle,
pop. There we go.
uncle. His pirate uncle wasn't his uncle a pirate or something? We have to do a Joe
Yeah,
Biden genealogy.
we'll
It's
do
like
that.
he had pirates, he had rabbis, he
And they
had
all
Indian chiefs.
and they commuted over a bridge with no on a train with no train tracks.
That's right.
There we go.
They all. So no. See, his uncle, his Chinese uncles built the tracks over the bridge to let them ride the train over. Then the Chinese uncles picked up the tracks and they were never there. It's like this ever building and dismantling train thing that he does.
Right. Now,
Yeah, he rides. But did you know that he rides by train everywhere he goes? They just lay down the track and everything, and he just rides, and then
that's right,
they
because
pick it all back up.
that's where he gets anywhere from Scranton. All right. Now there are
Scranton.
three more pictures I want to show because
All
this is
right,
a
all
choice
right,
for all of us. This
all
is
right,
number one.
all right. This is
Number
a
two.
vote. It's
Now
a
number
vote.
two. I want to vote. This is number two. Now this is Joe Biden
No.
with the mask in hand and his soy face. Now, soy face, as you remember, is that meme where every stereotype liberal on the internet and they're taking their pictures, and these millennials always do their selfies and have this mouth agape like this, and they all look the same with the neck beards or the fake or Oh, I shouldn't even talk about receding hairline, but you see where I'm going. Right from their mom's basements or doing something useless. So there's Joe Biden with the typical super soiled your soy face and the mask. Two symbols of the Biden presidency.
It looks like to me a coffee filter you put in your Mr. Coffee filter in the morning to make coffee. Are you sure that he didn't just pick up a filter out of the White House kitchen and walk out there with that? I mean, that looks like a filter to me. Just saying.
That would
And
make it more
I wouldn't put
iconic
it
Biden.
past him.
Right?
I wouldn't put it past him.
That would make it more iconic Biden. And look at that face. He's so happy.
Yeah.
All right. Next is I like to call this one. I didn't know we were allowed to put toppings on these things. That's Joe Biden with the mask and his iconic ice cream. And what the heck's he holding in his other hand? He's looking at this thing in amazement, like, geez, I didn't think these things come with toppings. Wow, this is a whole new world to me.
Wow.
Thoughts on
So
that one?
I you keep including the mask thing, and I just, I like a lot of the folks like me are fed up with the mask. I mean, I've got the damn things, but I don't know. So try again, Chris. I don't think we're going to go with that one.
No, not number 3. Well, number 4 is being confused as to whether to put the mask on or off and eat the ice cream, whether it be the same time or not. He's having trouble with that. That's another one. But this is iconic Biden presidency. The mask is a big part of his presidency, and so is the ice cream, and so is the confused look. This all
Yeah,
3 works. We
yeah.
can come with more, but I'm thinking,
No,
this is good.
no. The one to me is either one of the ones from the Trump debate where he's sitting there, and I love that split screen where Trump is looking at him, was like, "What you saying, Willis?" Like, what? And Biden is like that angry, like I have no idea what's going on face. And then there's this one that is of him that is from one of the recent interviews where he's literally like, I think you're going to see the slack jaw, one of the slack jaw pictures of him as the this is Joe. Yeah, well, that's too
That's not the right
reasonable.
one. It's not the right one. I'm
That's
playing one.
like
And
he
that's
looks sane there, Chris, and we all
yeah,
know he's not sane. Not
that is
President Trump.
nothing.
President Trump is super sane. Just saying.
Yeah, so far I'm
So
going with this one, but that's just because of the soy
yeah,
face. That's definitely Joe
that's
Biden.
the
We'll find
coffee
something
filter,
there.
the coffee filter picture. Yeah,
Yeah,
coffee filter.
the coffee filter's a
Well, we'll
good
go
one.
through this a little bit more. No,
Right.
but so let's cover this because we're going to talk about this in the next hour on our other program, which we're taping for the weekend, folks. Don't get excited, but we will be back Friday. So yeah, we're not into 2 hours yet. I'm
Yeah.
negotiating with we're negotiating with ourselves since we took over, right, Chris? We're now in charge. We're the
That
Al Hags of Rumble, right?
that's right. We're the Al Hagen and Edith Wilson.
And
That's
Ollie
right.
North, you're Ollie North, and I'm Al Haig. How about that?
I
Sorry,
cannot
Ollie.
recall. I cannot recall.
Uh, that's right. That's right. Anyway, back to the subject. We'll talk about this, but more importantly, did you know, Chris? You probably know. You follow these things. So,
Maybe.
F. Joe Biden has compared himself to FDR and LBJ. Now, what
That's
do you
about
think
right.
of that?
I think that's about right. Franklin Delano Roosevelt tried to pack the Supreme Court, tried to push his agenda on everybody, taking advantage of a tragedy, a horrible event, a crisis, if you will. That sounds like Joe Biden and the Democrats from COVID
Yeah,
onward. That
yeah,
is them. And Biden even says the reason why he ran for president was to take advantage of a hoax, but what he thought was a tragic event, the
yeah,
Charlottesville thing.
yeah.
So
Right.
yes, I believe it. And of course, uh, LBJ, what he was like, and him and his deep state. Well, let's put it
Well,
this way.
he's the first kind of godfather of the deep state. I really
That's
do believe that for a
that's true.
number of reasons. Yeah,
And again, I don't know. I can say I believe that I know the deep state has the deep state offed JFK. I'm pretty
yeah.
sure LBJ hmm, probably knows a bit, and we all know
Oh,
what he
come
said.
on.
And
He knew what was going
I
on.
know,
He
but
knew what was coming.
I know, but I can make that accusation on my own platform.
Yeah,
But what I can tell you is this: LBJ. Look, Joe Biden uses Joe Biden repeatedly during the campaign has used the fake suckers and losers comment and the fake
yeah,
uh, great people on both sides hoax, very fine people hoax. But
Yeah.
there is something that I still believe LBJ said that the Democrats are denying.
Okay, go ahead.
We are going to own those.
Oh yeah.
That's
No,
the
I'm
one.
sure he said that.
Yes,
This
I'm
is what drives
positive
me
he
nuts
said that.
about. Yeah, so I try to point out
So he is
my
LBJ, and he
yeah,
is
but
FDR.
do you notice who he doesn't compare himself to? He doesn't compare himself to Robert Fitzgerald Kennedy, does he?
No.
Or any other Kennedy, because he's being right now railroaded in a good way by RFK Jr., right?
Well, he should be. And here's another thing for you. This is no game anymore for the Democrats. The Democrats thought they were really slick by minimizing Trump's Secret Service and denying legitimate candidate Robert F. Kennedy's Secret Service. That yesterday morning, the news came out that Kennedy gets a Secret Service.
Yeah.
They went too far with their rhetoric. They went too far with their games and playing with who gets what security. That now they've been called out, and they've been called out in a
All
horrible
right.
way, the worst way
Well,
possible.
we're where we want to be because the audience wants to hear about this. So, I mean, I'm sorry, the Patriots. Sorry, folks.
A
I
patriot
digress.
family.
No. I'm like already like loopy from having to be up early to do First Edition, which was a good show this morning, by the way. John and oh my God, what am I saying? John and my friend Betsy were on there hosting this morning. So, and Blaine was on there too. Anyway, so we're back to where we want to talk about what happened on Saturday, wasn't it? Was it Saturday?
It was
The
Saturday. It
rally.
was
Yeah.
in Pennsylvania, yes, in Butler, Pennsylvania.
So, come on, folks. We all have eyes. We all have
Come
a
on, man.
brain. Come on, man. There's no way this was this. Oh, we're incompetent. We had no idea that someone would want to kill Trump. That's what we're supposed to believe. It's like, yeah, well, he was a mostly peaceful sniper. He was mostly peaceful till he wasn't.
Every time I look at the picture of that kid, Crooks or whatever, I'm not putting it up because I don't want to promote this kid, but he looks like a young Jeffrey Dahmer.
Look, I think there's adequate evidence of similar traits, but let me say this for the audience: just because the kid was bullied, I feel for him. I've seen kids get bullied. My son's been bullied here where we live at times because of just kids are kids. But I don't believe for a minute he just kind of wandered in with the 12-foot ladder and just kind of wandered around the fairgrounds. Apparently, CNN's reporting, and I'm saying what CNN said. And the former intelligence commissioner for New York is the guy that reported it on there.
That's Dahmer, not Crooks, by the way.
That's not, that's not a young Joe Biden, although it could have been. Just saying. I mean, oh man. Anyway, but my point is that there's no way incompetence can explain how a kid wandered around the fairgrounds, actually had, according to CNN, a rangefinder. Chris, do you know what a rangefinder is?
I do, but as I said before, I'm not going to be caught using one because I'm nearsighted. And
well, no, but
I still couldn't hit
apparently
the broadside of a barn with it.
This kid wasn't nearsighted, and he was wandering around, literally looking at the counter sniper positions with the rangefinder. Gee, is that not alerting behavior? How do you not recognize that as alerting behavior? And so, I mean,
30 minutes beforehand, he was discovered.
Yeah, exactly. That's my point. So again, folks, I'm not trying to get new followers. Just saying, you can go to my social media, T-Spooky on Instagram or Facebook. You guys can find me. It's not hard. Most of you have already found me. Just saying,
type in Tony Schaefer. It's easy to find.
That's right. And don't park the RVs in my lawn anymore. Just saying. So anyway. Just a joke. It's a joke, Chris. Don't be taking it seriously.
All right. I can park mine there then. That's fine.
You can park yours.
I was going to say
it's like cousin Eddie showing up. And we're friends. Randy and I are friends on Facebook and Twitter. So I'm just saying, Randy, we're not making fun of you, Randy. We're making fun of your character.
You know what? Randy Quaid has played some of the most heroic characters on television. A misunderstood hero. Like this one was great. The Independence Day character he played, though. The guy who was, the crop
Yeah.
duster. I mean, he sacrificed his life for the world for pretty much, you know?
Yeah, he
I
does.
mean,
He's
yeah,
a good
but
character.
he was thought of as
And he
crazy.
Well, he is kind of crazy, but he's our kind of crazy. I'm
Right.
crazy. What do you
I
what,
like him.
someone was saying, well, it's not like we're crazy crazy liberals. I was talking to a Hollywood A-lister last night. It's like, yeah, but we're still crazy. We're still crazy.
Yeah.
So just it's okay. Just take the liberal part and we're all crazy. Anyway,
Crazy
I was
liberals
going
is
somewhere with
redundant
this
anyway.
and
Yeah.
I'm trying to get there. So this mostly peaceful sniper, right? I guess we can call him that, right? I mean, that's what CNN calls people who are violent, but they're peaceful till they get violent, right? Is
Well,
that the proper
he didn't
term?
burn anything down, so I guess it's mostly peaceful.
Yeah, CMI, I'll get back to you. I'm kind of doing stuff. I'm doing my shtick right now, but I will get back to you. Anyway, so uh, the issue to me is they're trying to use incompetence as an excuse for allowing this kid to get in close. And let's just all the timelines right now. There she is, Cheadle.
Yep.
Cheadle. Did you know there's a good and bad angle? Did you know the geometry is not the friend of the Secret Service? Did you know that, Chris?
Well, not for her at
She's
least.
she said that that roof that mostly
Oh,
peaceful sniper was on was is too steep. Ooh,
yeah, they explained it.
oh, we couldn't get up there because that steepness. It was like Mount Everest.
But
It
even
was
I
like
know
Mount Everest, and we just couldn't get anybody up there.
But even I know the vantage point, and a professional or any minor league sniper could take that vantage point and utilize
Yeah.
it. And
And the folks
again,
are saying, the
but
folks in chat are saying, look, the White House is the White House is way steeper. So I'm just saying, we
right,
agree.
but
Yeah,
she's an FOJ apparently,
she is
and a
indeed
friend of Jill.
a friend of Jill and a diversity hire. If there's
Right.
ever this here, folks, if you ever wanted to see a diversity hire, there she is. And then Joe Biden said he admitted to the NAACP that
Kamala Harris.
she's there because she's black as the vice president. So you are seeing in real time the effects of diversity. Diversity results in deathity. So that's what So, but I'm just saying that the whole issue at this point, it's not why it happened. We know why it happened. You had the former first lady's detail person, Cheadle, who went to Coca-Cola and oversaw the manufacturing, protected. Man, oh man, Chris, she had a tough job of protecting syrupy liquids being made. Man, if that's not a dangerous job, I don't know what is. I mean, man, Cheetos and soda pop, man, that's a tough job. I don't know how she survived that brutality of trying to make sure that those things were protected. Oh, man, just the stress that must come from making sure that Pepsi, the secret formula, is maintained. By the way, Pepsi comes from North Carolina, just down the road here where I'm at. But man, oh man, just can you imagine being in that pressure cooker job, wondering every day that if the secret recipe for Pepsi is going to leak out on your watch? Man, that's got to be be a tough.
Worse yet, I'm sure Cheeto was worried every day, every waking moment that Coke was going to come out with a Coke 3 and destroy
That's right.
destroy Pepsi, and she might have to pull out the stops and go back to Pepsi Crystal again.
That's right.
Remember
And
Pepsi
who
Crystal?
didn't love
Crystal
Crystal? Yeah,
Pepsi?
I know. Yeah. Well, they actually took broken glass and crushed it up and put it in a drink. It was pretty good, except for the scratchiness down the throat. Just saying. It was. Yeah.
I for one liked Coke 2, or the new Coke. I loved it. I thought it was great.
New.
And now we can't have it anymore. New Coke was fantastic. Of course, I was a partaker of Jolt Cola back when I was going to college too.
So, well, I think they should have gone with nude cola, nude Coke. That would have probably gotten more. Well, for certain demographics, I suppose.
Right.
Not the blue hairs. Just saying. So anyway, but I digress. So let's get back to focus on what we're.
Blue hairs.
I know I got to do a read because Paul Stone's going to be upset with me if I don't. So, folks, we talk to you about this all the time. You need to listen to what we're saying here. Do you understand the meaning of the words coming out of my mouth? What movie is that from, Chris?
Oh, you got me off guard on that.
Oh no, come on.
Oh no.
Rush Hour.
Oh, Rush. I got something for you. I have never seen Rush Hour. I never saw Rush Hour.
Oh my God.
Yep,
Seriously?
I never saw Rush Hour.
All right, you're fired. Get off the air. Get out of here. Get out of here.
Hey,
what are you doing? you, you yeah, it's like I'll be Donald Trump. All right, you're fired. No,
Hey,
you have
it's
never
like
seen.
well,
Uh,
there was an era of movies. Look, let's put it this way. I was dragged to Forrest Gump once, right? I had to
yeah.
watch Forrest Gump, and I thought the only person in that theater stupider than Forrest Gump was me for paying full price to see the movie. So I was kind of turned off by movies for a certain period of time, and then I got back into it again.
So, but no, it was Chris. What's his name? He plays a great role in. Oh my God, I can't remember his last name now. I'm having a Joe Biden moment.
Ooh,
Um, he was in
Rock,
the Fifth Element too. He played that rock and roll DJ guy. Oh,
Chris Tucker, Chris Tucker.
Chris Tucker, and Jackie Chan. Do you understand the meaning of the words coming out of my mouth? That's a great scene. I can't believe you've not seen that. So
Well,
anyway,
it
I
happened.
got to get back to the read. Chris, quit diverting me from my purpose here.
That was
You got me
me.
on.
Okay, I'll divert you again. There it is.
There it is. There it is. Yeah, Rush Hour. I enjoyed it, and by the way, it wasn't politically correct. Just saying. It's like it's like if you want to see some '90s politically incorrect humor, go back and by the way, folks, I'm not talking to any of the actors. Don't be thinking these are the A-list folks I'm talking to.
Uh,
Don't be reading anything into this. It's
no,
just
but
a little diversion.
I did
Don't
like
be
Bad
thinking that.
Boys. That was good.
Yeah, yeah. So let me get back to my job here, which is supposed to be, reading this. So anyway, Paul Stone. We have Paul Stone. Paul's going to be back on with us this Friday. He runs the Colonial Metals Group, and he's a great guy. He understands economics. I'm not an economist. I'm a spy, retired spy. Well, kind of retired. Well, and I do media now too, and other interesting things. My point being is that I'm prepared for a worst case scenario. I've got gold and silver. I think you should consider that as well. And the way to do it is go to Colonial Metal Groups. They have a solution for you to make sure that you and your family are secure in the future. What you need to do is be prepared. And no matter what, I mean, we've talked about being prepared physically. I was talking to folks about other things they could do yesterday. You need to look at how you can financially secure your future. And that's by going to their website, which is it's on the banner there, Colonial Metals Group, all one word, .com/Ed-Henry. That's us. I work for Ed. Well, we did until we did the revolution this morning. Now we're in charge. We're the Al Heggs of the show. So, but we work for Ed, sort of. And well, and anyway, colonialmetalsgroup.com/Ed-Henry, Ed-Henry, and then or 800-805-4034. I really, you need to do this. You guys know I take things very seriously. We joke a lot, we have fun, but we're deadly serious about helping you guys find a path to be prepared. Be prepared with metals. Do those things that help you and your family survive whatever comes. So back to Chris and Joe Biden, FJB. Did I say that? I guess I didn't. I so I guess,
FGB.
or is it? Let's go, Brandon.
It sounds better than LBJ.
LBJ. Well, LBJ sounds like something Kamala Harris might do. Just saying. So.
Oh, that's bad. Oh, hey yo, that deserves a hey.
Hey yo, yeah, I know, man. Well, I think people have recognized. Oh, so let's talk about that just for a second, right?
Yes.
So we got a guy named Vance, who's now the candidate for vice president, right? Did I understand it correctly? JD Vance.
JD Vance. Now this is, I believe, this is after Burkham kind of shot himself in the foot a little bit, and this is, it was a good pick after the assassination. Donald Trump was or the assassination attempt, excuse me. Donald Trump was free to pick whoever he wanted, who can solidify his own points of view and basically be the next president. This is why JD Vance was a good choice. It would go if after Burkham shot himself in the foot as the more Pence-like, mild-mannered pick.
By the way, no guns were used. No guns were used when he shot himself in the foot. It's metaphorical. Just saying.
Well, that's what I'm. Yes, thank you for that. But he did that. He kind of turned off his appeal to moderates because of the abortion.
Well,
but again, that's him. That's what he did.
Come on, appeal. Appeal is a very subjective word. I mean, are you saying that Burkham had appeal to begin with? I mean, I don't know about that.
He had Pence appeal. One of those guys like. Well, he's definitely the opposite of the guy. I'll stay quiet. There we go. But JD Vance will destroy Kamala Harris in any debate.
Oh yeah, Yeah.
Okay.
I said on X yesterday it's going to be like Godzilla meets Stormy Daniels. It'll be great. So.
Ooh, somebody's getting screwed.
Hey-oh.
Oh,
That's true.
Godzilla. Wait. Oh. But JD Vance was a good pick, a solid pick, and he's young. And one complaint from younger people, you'll see him on the internet, even these younger YouTubers, and of course, people even anecdotally that I'm sure we all know, they think the two candidates are too old, and they don't relate to a person like
Yeah.
Kamala Harris unless
Yeah.
you're a cackling View watcher. But this man represents the younger portion of the voting public.
So I got to do a quick little note on that. You've heard that the latest Deadpool 3 is coming out. Deadpool and what's his name? That wacky guy from Wolverine and
Oh,
Deadpool. Yeah.
really?
And so did you know that Disney, they're all part of Disney, Marvel and The View.
Of
Did you
course.
know that they have a cameo in Deadpool where Deadpool makes fun of her, and they had to dump it out of the movie to put it in the director's cut because Joy Behar was offended by being made fun of? Oh my God! Oh,
I was waiting for you to say it.
wow!
She's the code
Wow!
word of the day.
Oh
We have to
my!
start screaming,
Yeah.
"Ah!"
Ooh, man. that's oh my God! It's like kryptonite. Oh,
One day I
man.
was talking to a few friends of mine, and one of them brought up, "Is anybody on television dumber than Joy Behar?" So I told them, "Well, maybe
Well,
they're" I said, "She's not even the dumbest Joy on television."
apparently she was offended as a comedian. Just get this as irony. She was offended that they were making fun of her. It's like, you're a freaking comedian. How do you not get this? And oh, by the way, it's like, it's part of the shtick of the movie.
That's right.
Oh,
But
these people.
speaking of dumb joys, Joy Reid was whining
Oh,
over the week about how the assassination is going to allow Trump and the Republicans to rewrite the history of how Trump was as
oh,
president.
right. Can you run
This
this clip? Yeah, I've heard this is something.
I
Yeah.
have to dig it up, but this
Oh,
woman was absolutely she was way out of bounds there. This woman, I mean, the point is either she's really dumb or um, she just really believes or is a true agent of the deep state,
yeah.
trying to convince people that Trump did not uh, put have a great peace initiative during the Middle East. Trump's economy was terrible, trying to make people believe that it was Trump who caused the problems of COVID. And
Yeah.
again, I can go down the list, but she just tries way too hard. Joy Behar
Well,
is plain dumb, but Joy
yeah.
Reid seems to believe her BS.
Oh, I think so. By the way, Chris, we need to be kind to the good people. Next time, do like a warning, like a trigger warning, whenever you're going to put a picture up of Joy Behar. Because, I mean, I don't want people blinded. I don't want us to get sued. It'll get up. Oh, my God. There goes again.
Yeah, with breakfast time. I'm the one that calls
We
you
don't
out
want to
for
be
that.
sued by the folks. We don't want to be
Yes.
sued by the Patriots. Yeah, it's like, don't be careful about that. Well, that doesn't want us to lose sponsors because we actually have people complaining about our worshiping Joy Behar. Just saying. So, man, oh man. Okay, so back to the topic of Joy. So, Joy Behar and Joy Reid, do you think they're related?
I would say no, but I can
Oh,
tell you that there was a time where Joy Reid tried to have Donald Trump's haircut. So maybe they're both maybe she loves Donald Trump so much that she tries to emulate him, and he just keeps ignoring her. Maybe that's why she's upset.
well, they're on the same network as Morning Joe. Did I mention that remind people that Mika Brzezinski's on Morning Joe? Did you know that, Chris? Did
Yeah,
you know that?
yeah, I
Just
guess
reminding people.
I
Just
forget
reminding
that.
people.
Here you go. This is somebody put this together, and it was kind of funny.
Oh. um, her tan is almost as dark as Trump's. It is. It's very close.
Orange woman bad.
Orange woman bad. Do you think? Let's go down. Let's explore that a bit. Do you think that Morning Joe would have higher ratings if he had like orange skin? I think that would help their ratings. I know their producer. But I know this is a strange world. I know their producer, and we're friendly of Morning Joe. Strange universe, folks. Anyway, I should reach out to his producers. Like, hey, have you ever thought about slapping some of that orange number 5 on Joe in the morning to see how that works? Because I think it might help.
It could probably get you into a college ahead of time too. You could be bumped up. Hey, my race is orange, so I can qualify
Well,
for
they've actually
DEI.
had me on.
There we go.
Jesse had me on with him once back a long time ago now, his senior producer for Morning Joe. It's like only once. It didn't go badly, but it was before he went full full what is that line from uh uh, uh, uh Downey Jr. on Tropic Thunder? Never go full retard. Before Joe went full retard. So,
Right, right. Okay, yes. But he went full. Yeah, basically, I'll go with that. Yeah,
it's true. It's
he
true.
went full deep state. How about that? Is that better?
It's true. It's provable. I mean, it's like if you want to look at mental decline, don't look at Joe Biden. Look at Joe. Look at Joe Scarborough. I mean, that guy went from semi-rational, killing interns in his office. Oh, I didn't say that. I'm implying maybe. That's the implication. I'm not making the allegation, Joe. Just saying, I think you're a sweetheart. Between you and me, I think you're wonderful. But I'm saying that there's this kind of lingering can I say dangling participle on the air? I guess I can. I did.
Ooh.
So there's a dangling participle, Chris, about that murky. What happens in Joe's office stays in Joe's office. Isn't that true? Yeah. There he is.
Yes, except for that, I suppose that was how he and Mika kept things quiet for a long time.
By not by ignoring each other? No, they couldn't do that. No.
Oh,
So
no. But look,
so
this man looks distraught. It's a man who's like, somebody's got something on me. I really have to say these things,
yeah,
and it's
yeah,
depressing. That's what
yeah.
I get. That's the impression I
Well,
get
I
with Joe
told
Scarborough.
you know what they have on him, and I just said
I
it.
know. Yeah, I think you said
Mika
something.
Mika Brzezinski's on Morning Joe. Come, how do y'all not get that? How do you not get that? It's
Oh,
like the other day. Who did we have on? It was not like getting. Oh, it was no
it was
offense,
Karen,
Karen.
right?
It was Karen. It's like, yeah.
Oh,
How do
poor
you?
Karen. Well, she was subjected to us.
She's been in the chat, by the way.
Oh,
She's
good.
been
Yeah, poor
because she's
Karen
on travel
subjected to.
right now. But
Yeah, we subjected her
yeah,
to us on Monday. It was
yeah, I know,
yeah,
But
yeah.
anyway, not that I'm worried about Morning Joe. Joe is just fine, right? There's something about that name, Joe, right?
No,
Joe Palooka, Joe Biden, Joe
Scarborough
Scarborough.
unfair.
Yeah.
That's terrible. That's probably a
So
bad one. There we go.
no, I think we're being very fair to those Joes, all those Joes out there. Let's hope that Joe does not become the Karen of men's names, right? No offense to Karen. You're not like that, Karen. Just saying. But
Yeah. Well, we
we're
should change that to Kareen instead of Karen. Make it Kareen. This way, it works
Kareem.
better, right? Instead of calling people Karens, we call them Kareens.
I don't think that would catch on because that's too French. So I
Mm.
don't know. I don't
Well, they'll
know.
surrender. I mean, that's fine with me.
Horse eating surrender monkeys. That's right. That's
I
right.
like that.
Don't forget that. Yeah. So anyway, Joe Ho. Well, Joe and Ho, right? That's what I've seen the memes on, right?
Right.
We've seen
I
that.
agree with you.
Yeah. Yeah. So anyway, but by the way, for the folks and for the Patriots in the chat, we'll have Karen back on. Karen's just traveling today. She's had to go off and do some things, and we let her escape our coup d'état, right, Chris? As we took over the studio this morning, we said you can go. You're okay,
He
right?
had she got a reprieve. There we go.
Yeah, reprieve. That's right. No arms were used making the coup d'état, right? It was a
Right. And by
mostly
the way,
peaceful coup d'état.
and I want to be clear here. The only Scarborough I like is Scarborough Fair from Simon and
Yeah.
Garfunkel. That's the
Well,
good
he's not fair,
Scarborough.
but yeah. Are
That's right.
you
He's
going to
Scarborough
Scarborough
Unfair.
Fair?
Yeah,
Yeah.
Scarborough Unfair would be MSNBC. That's what they should change that. Instead of Morning Joe, Scarborough Unfair. What do you think about that one?
I don't know. I think Scarborough. I don't know. That's a long name to remember because they're left and they have a very short attention span. That's why they have blue hair.
That's a
Blue
good
hair
point.
relates to their ability to. They have to identify because they don't have time to talk to each other. So it's like if you got blue hair, it's like, oh, that must be one of us. So that's what they do. They go over there and talk to the blue hair folks. I think that's what happens.
Blue hairs means something a lot different than it did 40 years ago. I'll tell you that.
Yeah.
But they're the
Well,
same thing today.
in the old days, the blue hairs would flock to Fort Lauderdale and Key West because that was old people, right?
Right.
That was a thing for old people. Now blue hairs are all
They
these
still flock to
dumpy
Key West.
teens of both sexes. By the way,
Right.
it's not just girls, and GURL, spelled the California way.
Or
Uh,
GRRL. That's the other one.
yeah, whatever it
Girl.
is. Anyway,
Mommy.
it's like the baristas of both sexes in their blue hair, right? I think
Right.
that's so there you go. But are we going to have someone join us this morning or not?
Well,
Or
we are scheduled to have Angie Wong call in with us, and
oh, good.
she's on a hit right now. So after the hit, she's going to tell us a little bit about if it depends on how long it runs. She'll tell us a little bit about how what's going on at the RNC. So we'll
Yeah, I
see.
hope you.
I haven't gotten a
We'll see.
message. I haven't heard back from her, but we'll see what's going on.
Well, hope springs eternal, right, Chris?
That's
So
correct.
let's rock on. So the last thing I wanted to cover this morning, as we go through and examine the path to November, is Donald J. Trump. So y'all know I saw him a couple weeks ago. He was bold and sassy. I guess I could. Can I say that about Donald Trump? Bold and
S-
sassy.
well, you can't say brave and stunning because that's taken by somebody
That's
else,
stunning.
right?
That's right. That's taken. So I can't say that, although it's true. But bold and sassy, and I want to do a quick reminder to folks. The man almost died. As much as
Right.
we make fun of this stuff, and we try to use irony and levity as a way of making political points, which I think you all enjoy. You seem to be coming back. We enjoy having you all here.
Right.
Um, they almost tried to murder him.
Yes. But
They
they tried.
almost,
No, they tried to murder him.
yeah, they did. They
Yep.
tried to murder the man, and I think we all have to recognize that we are in times that have. I'm not saying this is the worst time in American history. I think George Washington and the Continental Army. I think they had some pretty tough times, right, Chris? I mean, they were taking on the greatest military force on the planet back then, in the
They
in the
did. And you know what?
Revolutionary War.
I want to add one
But
more. I want to add one more
yeah,
thing, Tony. They,
yeah,
not only did they attempt to murder um, uh, a president, we had an administration that was nonchalant about the fact that there are two potential major targets who are running against Joe Biden that got either Secret Service protection or no Secret Service protection. That I believe is a very important point that we should hammer down the road,
yeah.
especially before the election. That's very important.
So I think that's what we have to understand is that we have to work hard, very hard, to um, put in context those things which are important and necessary to understand the facts as they are, not what we want them to be. And I will no longer be dissuaded, and I think most of the folks who follow us, the Patriots, should never be dissuaded now. Don't let them lie to you. Don't let them say this attempt on the former president's life and the future president to be 40, 45, 47, that it was all incompetence. It's not. People are not that level of incompetence. And I'm going to, I've said this on other interviews. Some of you saw me this morning on TV, and I'll be on later today talk about this. At this point, uh, the security around Trump we have to understand was compromised at some level. It's not incompetence. You don't uh, you don't not search a building within 150 feet of the presidential podium. You don't do that. It's not done. It's never done. It's not an accident. There's no way it's an accident. And secondly, then when you add on top of that the fact that this kid was observed not once, not twice, but three times, and that when he was observed in his position to fire, the guy retreated. I talked to two separate sheriffs about this. One, my boss, Dave Decatur. We went back and forth on this, and Dave Decatur, Sheriff Decatur, hosted President Trump back in 2016 in his jurisdiction, and I can tell you for a fact that there would have never been that level of lapse. And full disclosure, those who follow me, I've actually been on protective details myself. I was actually on Terry McAuliffe when Terry McAuliffe was governor of Virginia. My friend, my boss, Dave Decatur, since I'm a member of law enforcement in his department, I was asked and I participated as a armed member of the protection detail of Democrat governor, by the way, Terry McAuliffe. So I've been on these things. I know how these things are done. And what was done in Butler was it was not incompetence. And so the third and last thing I'll say about that is the fact that, despite the fact that you had people eyeing the kid, Chris,
Yeah,
eyeing. I mean, they had
30 minutes,
they
30
they
minutes
saw him.
beforehand. Right.
No, no, no. What I'm talking about the last 3 minutes. There's
Right. Oh
multiple
yeah.
videos.
Yep.
Those
There.
multiple videos of the timeline. And by the way, going back to my point I'm trying to make, if it wasn't for Donald Trump calling an audible, and I was 2 weeks ago, I was at Donald Trump's Chesapeake, well, it's 2.5 weeks ago now, at the Chesapeake, Virginia event. That chart he was pointing at, remember, he was pointing and looking over there at the chart. That chart was at the end. That was supposed to be at the end of his rally. That is to say, and he talks a long time. I'm not giving away secrets here. He talks a long time. So that was supposed to come about an hour and a quarter in to his talk. So he did an audible, and he decided, no, I'm going to talk about the chart. And he started pointing at the chart. If it wasn't for that, Chris, if it wasn't for him taking and moving his head over, he'd be
Yeah,
dead.
that's right. Yeah, it all went down to fate at that point.
Yeah.
It just bothers me. Look, here's some other things that really bothered me. I want to get to you because you're a national security guy. So the local police officer sees the guy. Guy points the gun at him. The guy retreats. What's your take on that? Is that proper procedure, or
No.
something should have been done?
So yeah, so I actually talked to a local sheriff. I don't want to get him in trouble by mentioning his
Right.
name, but we had this conversation, and he said, Tony, I would have fired that guy on the spot.
Right. Because
That's it.
basically,
It's
you
like,
see him point.
you
You can
don't
even say he's pointing at
you don't
civilians.
retreat.
Right. He's pointing at
You don't
civilians.
retreat. Yeah,
Civilians
you
and the
don't retreat.
president's slaves are in danger. That should have been taken care of right there.
So the moment you identify a weapon, which there's no dispute, this guy identified the kid's weapon. You have the right to start shooting. It's like, you can. And so this is the other thing I'm taught. I'm an operative. We aren't taught to do the same exact things, same things as law enforcement. There's parallels. And so one of the things we're taught to do is at the moment you're engaged in a firefight, you don't have to be accurate. You just have to start shooting in the direction to get that person to mess up their aim. So, do you think Chris maybe taking some shots at the kid may have stopped him from taking shots at Trump? Do you think maybe?
I think possibly yes. I mean, you never know.
Yeah.
Maybe he missed. Not just kidding here. No, he should have apprehended the guy or shot at him. That's what they're
Yeah.
right there at that point when there was a weapon. The justification was a former president, a candidate, and civilians' lives were in danger. At that point,
Yeah.
that fire
You
chief
think?
didn't have to die. Trump
Right.
didn't have to get hit, and the
Right.
other two people didn't have to get hit.
So that's my final point on this, because I want people to understand that within the context of what we're speaking about, uh, they observed him with a ladder. He went to Home Depot. Who carries a ladder or a range fire to a rally, right, Chris? It's just, Ben Gay, I can see if you got some, problem with the knees, some beeswax,
I'm
stuff for the
short, so I
lips,
carry one. I
a
carry one because I'm
hat.
short and I hate to see over people.
Yeah, some of those fold out chairs. Nobody carries a ladder and an AR to a rally. I mean, come on.
No,
So,
not at all.
and by the way, he had to move a mile. A mile? Come on.
I know.
Who's kidding who here?
And do you really buy the FBI not finding a way into this guy's phone, or not finding the
No,
ideology of this
no,
kid, or not
no,
finding up any
no.
kind of clues?
They know.
Oh, and a 20-year-old kid with no social media footprint? Come on.
No. It's all wrong. We're being lied to. Don't accept anything they say. Don't say, so I know that they're supposed to have hearings on this, and I've been asked by a number of folks, so I'll just get ahead of y'all because you're going to ask me this. Do you think that some resolution of this is going to come regarding the truth? No, not in, Trump's got to win. Trump's got to win. This
That's
is
the
not a
only
political endorsement,
resolution.
although it is kind of is. It is. I guess it is kind of a political endorsement. Just saying.
It's just common
But
sense
it's
endorsement.
not official. It's not official. I'm unofficially saying, yeah, Trump needs to win because we need to get to the bottom of this. And plus I kind of like the guy. So yeah, go ahead.
I want to throw this. Yeah, and you're right about this. Trump needs to win. There was talk. A report I heard this week about Trump talking to Robert F. Kennedy about joining his administration. Could you imagine
Yeah.
the deep state? What the deep state is thinking right now? They're shaking
I
in
know
their
what they're thinking.
shoes. It looks like Trump's going to win, and it looks like he's going to bring it. He's probably going to bring in Robert F. Kennedy Jr. The deep state is going to be they're going to try their best not to be, but it looks like there's going to be at least a big chunk taken out of them. Their
Yeah, and I
monolith at
see
this
Born to
point.
Ride for 45. I see that he endorsed Trump. Yes, I endorse Trump too. I'm just kidding. I'm being funny. So yes, we're all on the same sheet here. Don't be thinking that I'm not endorsing Trump.
That was a
So
Pat
can I do that?
Paulson
I
guy.
guess I can do that. So anyway. So, but my point, Chris, to your point, is that we all have to recognize that those in power will literally do anything. And I'm sorry, I'm just going to say it. They're going to try again.
Yeah,
They're going to try again.
they'll try something a little more subtle.
Yeah, maybe. I don't know. I think I had this conversation with a former Assistant Secretary of Defense yesterday, who will remain nameless, and he thinks, oh, there'll be more subtle. It's like, no, I don't think so. I think they're going to go the other way. I think they're going to be so desperate they don't care. And I've said this on X, and I'm saying it here. Do you all patriots really think that a federal organization such as DOJ that has spent the last 3 years trying to get dirt and coordinate prosecutions of Trump, and the FBI, which actually conducted what I believe an illegal raid, especially based on the judge dismissing the charges based on the fact that Jack Smith's appointment was not legal. And I agree with who am I to disagree with Ed Meese, former Attorney General under Ronald Reagan. He's a friend and mentor. He says, hey, that Jack Smith wasn't appointed correctly. The judge agreed. But it doesn't mean that, they didn't try. I mean, my point being is DOJ, FBI have been after Trump. Do you really think all of a sudden they're going to turn 180 degrees and say, oh, no, we're sorry. We really want to help get to the bottom of this. Does anybody really believe that?
No, it's too many important people are at stake here. They're not going to bother because people will be uncovered. And what is Congress going to do? They're going to show off a little bit. They're going to yell at Mayorkas. They're going to yell at Cheadle.
Old man
But
screaming in clouds.
right?
Yeah.
Ultimately, nothing is going to get done. And the Biden administration is going to say, well, like you said, we're going to maybe we'll take another angle. But the idea is this. The idea is this: they will stop at nothing to silence their opponents. They've done this already,
Yeah.
and don't tell me they're not going to keep going with that.
So what we're going to keep going with is talking about Colonial Metals Group, right, Chris?
Absolutely.
So Friday, I think Larry's in tomorrow for his normal session tomorrow and Thursday. Friday we
Hello,
got
Larry.
hello Larry.
It's a great show.
Larry and I are friends. Larry was one of my first supporters when I became a whistleblower. So you guys need to tune into Larry. He's a good guy.
Excellent.
Rich with information. So tune in to see Larry tomorrow, doing his best on calling balls and strikes regarding politics. But one ball I'm going to call is Joe Biden. No, it's a low hanging ball, so to speak, right, Chris?
You know what? Maybe a little too low now. That's another story.
So, is it true that that Joe Biden is Satan's left testicle? Is that true? I don't know if that's true or not. I've heard that, but I don't know these things. So, anyway, and would that make Obama the right testicle? Well, I don't know if he's right.
They both could be Satan's turds. I mean, that's all I can say.
Yeah.
I
don't know. Something about that. Anyway, but a strike that you can count on is Paul Stone. Paul Stone has the best thing you can do for your family. Colonial Metals Group, they're there for you to help make sure that you are secure in your future. So reach out to them. You got the banner at the bottom of the screen. Go to Ed Henry. Go to colonialmetalsgroup.com, Ed-Henry. Check them out. Go tell them that we sent you, and we did. And or call them at 800 805 4034 800 805 4034. You can't go wrong. As a matter of fact, you can go right. Hey, we're right, Chris? It's all right.
We're groovy. All right. We're not just all right. We're groovy. All right.
We should get that. Speaking of groovy, we should do that thing with Liberace doing feeling groovy. That's groovy, man. That's groovy.
It's really neato. That's the word. We're keen. What do the kids say? I think the kids say spank today, right?
Yeah, well, I guess I don't know these. I stay away from kids.
Hey,
just saying.
I'm
no Jeffrey Epstein.
Oh, heyo,
heyo.
All right. See, we're hep.
One more. 1980s. God, breathe it in. 80s. I miss the 80s. It was great. So, all right. Well, folks, we got to wrap it up because we got work to do, right, Chris? We got to go on to other mischief. We got more
we
mischief
have
we
a
got to
whole
get to.
plan for both of us have a whole day planned of mischief and talking about this. Thank goodness the Democrats provide good material.
Oh yeah, man. No dearth of content. I'm just saying. All right, so folks, Patriots, come back and see us Friday. We're going to be back on. I think we got some guests. We got Paul Stone. But we're going to have some other folks showing up. I'm still trying to convince my rock and roll and Hollywood friends that we want to have them come on. They're just kind of, but I'm telling you, they are waking up. So the people. I wish I could tell you who it is. I mean, I hate to sound like, but I'm telling you, you have people who are A-listers waking up. And I think that's, if nothing else, between 2016 and 20 and now, which is like 8 years,
Right.
people have seen, it's like they know they're being lied to. And so I think people are fed up. And I think that's the thing we can help you all with, you can help us with. We appreciate you all being here and interacting with us. We'll do it again Friday. Right, Chris? Anything else?
Oh, that's basically it. I'm good.
Right.
I want to save it till Friday. We have a lot of good things happening next few weeks. So let's all talk on Friday, and don't forget to catch Larry tomorrow.
All right, catch Larry. We'll see you all soon. And by the way, we understand things are chaotic. Ed's doing his best to make sure that we kind of figure out how we're going to do things. So I think we'll hopefully have kind of, a format that works for everybody. I mean, come on, we all give you some really cool things to talk about in the morning, right?
Right.
And you never, it's like a box of chocolates. You never know what you're going to get, right, Chris?
Oh, well, I do. You do, because there's that map on the top. You see, that's the whole thing. I never understood that line, because every of those box of chocolates have on the top the map, which chocolate's which. So if Forrest Gump can't read, that's his fault. But again,
that is his fault.
Yeah,
that's right.
Tom Hanks.
Well,
there we go. But
that's right. Well,
we understand where you're coming from. We're agents of chaos. That's what we are.
Agents of chaos. That's right. Well, not to get smart chaos. Just saying, we're in control, right? The magenta
missed by that much.
By that much. All right. Well, till then, till Friday. We'll see you later. Take care.